If there's something I have to say about this episode is that there are two things that my mind had. One, Subaru. Why? Just why do we gotta even add the term waifu into a series? Subaru's an otaku, I guess it makes sense, but dude, don't say stuff like that. It's cringy as hell. But that's not all, that's just dogging on Subaru on that note. Otherwise, I genuinely had fun with this episode. Like, there were a few things that were notable, such as Regulus just tanking a bunch of shit because he is the strongest Sin Archbishop. And, we're seeing it right here where Sirius is trying to literally kill Emilia and him, and yet she is failing at it, even though she is giving direct attacks. And then Subaru with the whip. Like, dude, are you trying to snap his neck? It probably looks like he is, but in all reality, he's attempting to use that and Shamak along with Beatrice in order to pull off a cool ability, and then he manages to pull off Invincible Providence, and yeah, that all failed. But a lot of it is because Regulus's authority is kind of fucking broken to a point where one must question just how fucking broken he is. But that aside, you have Regulus obviously mad at Sirius for attacking him and also trying to kill Emilia. We have, two Sin Archbishops arguing. Hell, he comes up with the iconic, "you're violating my rights" kind of thing. And Sirius is kind of just going off on her tangent because she's wrath. And when Subaru also, Regulus gets mad at Subaru because he's like, "Hey, asshole, I gave you my name. You didn't give me shit. You're violating my rights." It's like, damn it. I forgot how annoying he is about that. But other than the funniness of just them having a weird-ass conversation while everyone is kind of looking like they're in a horror movie and dying, which they probably are, Sirius seeing Subaru use Invincible Providence is a problem, because now she thinks that Subaru is Betelgeuse, which, then again, he's using an ability that Betelgeuse can use. Betelgeuse can take over people's bodies, but this girl is just obsessed to the living point for Subaru now, because she thinks he's Betelgeuse, that even Regulus says that's against Betelgeuse's rights. I'm like, when the fuck have you even given a shit about everyone else's rights? That is the one thing that I guess caught me off guard somehow, is Regulus actually respecting Betelgeuse. I've never thought of him respecting anyone but himself, but okay, I guess. I don't know. That caught me so fucking off guard. I just don't know how to feel about it. But other than that and also them saying, "Oh, I guess our break time is over," or our downtime, I think he said it. And I'm like, what the fuck? Which cultists have downtime? What is this, a fucking job? I don't know. It's funny that I just had that reaction. But other than that, yeah, they kind of leave. Regulus gets a little payback on Subaru and damages his leg, which everyone else gets affected by it thanks to Sirius's ability. Even though Subaru tries to use the fact that she thinks he's Betelgeuse to try to say, "Hey, please back off, don't involve anyone else." She's like, "Sorry, but no." And they go off to do witch culty stuff, which, by the way, we have a lot of Garfield content, which is more stem from Garfield seeing visions of Elsa, which I don't think I mentioned in the first episode, but fucking hell, did they really have to make Elsa that hot? Like, she's still very much hot now. And okay, that's a side tangent. Garfield's being haunted by Elsa. Elsa's like more or less the insecurity part of him, I guess, and is constantly berating him, and that's something I noted. But other than that, Garfield has trouble because his mom literally is right there but has amnesia, so we have a character who doesn't even recognize their own son, which, to be fair, she doesn't even know that it's him. And poor Garfield, after all he had to go through in the sanctuary, and after finally kind of coming to terms with like his mother death and all that, he's seeing her again, and she doesn't know that it's him, her son, and it's genuinely sad. And seeing Mimi be there for Garfield, because at this point Mimi loves Garfield. Garfield's kind of iffy on it, but just seeing her comfort Garfield is just so fucking amazing. Like, these two definitely would make a great pairing. And then we have the Capella speech. And, like, voice actress. Fucking hell, they did really good with this. And, yeah, I mean, we see her mouth, but I mean, we're seeing what is essentially a Sin Archbishop of Lust. So, I'll refrain my comments for now, because once we see her in the next episode, most likely, I'll give my better thoughts on Lust. But Lust is something. And then poor fucking Otto. He ends up dealing with Lybat and Kaidos. Like, Lybat and Kaidos is being treated like a kid that, hey, stop, like, the guard's like, hey, stop playing there. You're not supposed to be here. And he's kind of just, okay, you're kind of not worthy of a meal, so, skadoosh, you're dead. And then he just sees Otto, and it's the same thing, like, you're not worthy of a meal either. And it's like, oh, shit. So, yeah, the Sin Archbishops of it are attacking everywhere. Subaru does reawaken, and he was basically treated by Beatrice, which Beatrice overused her mana limit to not only help Subaru, but help everyone else. So she's out of commission. Felix kind of tells Subaru to not just go off running on his own, because that would just end up with more return by deaths. But it just shows that Subaru's kind of getting back to the I need to fix this on my own kind of attitude, and needs people to kind of bring him back down to earth. Like, hey, you don't have to do this alone, and you shouldn't because you're injured. There is something I want to mention about Al. Al is the reason Subaru's still alive, because Subaru passed out, and I mean, Beatrice was doing her own thing before she probably passed out, and Al came in because of Luzbel. So, I mean, Al's the MVP here for getting Subaru to safety. And yeah, we end with everyone discussing about the Watergate City and how it's a trap, and the trap was for a witch. Not only that, but the episode ends with Garfield and Mimi together, like they're gonna go and help Subaru. Like, he's going to his boss, or captain, as in the web novel says it, and I prefer that better. He is stopped by his mother, and she kind of says that her children are missing, and that the one that usually does the broadcasting is her husband. So this obviously brings the point that the children are in trouble, and it's more likely they're stuck with the witch cultist now. The dad and the children, I mean. And Garfield looks so badass when he's like, I'm gonna go find them. And that is just the best way to end this episode. Like, this episode is pretty peak too. Last episode took it up a fucking notch with the uncensored shit. But this episode just showed us badass moments from Subaru and Garfield. And funny moments with just the witch cultists aren't able to agree on anything and just bicker amongst themselves. And if it's not for the gospel, I can guarantee you that witch cult group would literally fall apart.